Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Football Astrology channel. Saturday night, heading into week 3 of the 2020 NFL season. And I'm here to give a little advice, a little trade advice. I had a question. Somebody wanted me to do a video and was asking, how do I make a trade work? Can you talk about what I'm looking for in a trade? And I've talked a little bit about this in another video. And so I wanted just to throw a couple things out there. Okay, I'm recommending for anybody right now to trade for Terry McLaurin, right? He's kind of on a buy high, but honestly, I feel like the sky's the limit, right? He's going to keep going higher. And so he's going to get, I think, in that untouchable range. And if you look at the astrology between McLaurin and Haskins, it is really good, okay? McLaurin is a mutable Virgo. Haskins is a fixed Taurus. Those are both earth signs, okay? Even better, Rivera is a Capricorn. They're all earth signs. So there should be a lot of congruence happening there. And it looks like Haskins is already starting to feel much more confident this year in going to Terry McLaurin. McLaurin just gets a ton of separation. He's getting a ton of usage right now. So buy on McLaurin now before he becomes untouchable. Okay, he's going to be getting to that realm pretty soon. Okay, but obviously, if you're going to be trying to get McLaurin, you're going to have to give something up. So I was able to give up Kelce for McLaurin, right? Now people think, oh, that's crazy. I'm not going to give up Kelce for McLaurin. Well, there's a couple of factors on why I was able to do this. Yes, that's true. That would be too steep of a price, right? We know Kelce is a second-round pick, and we know McLaurin is somewhere in the 4th round range, maybe 5th round. Okay, so yeah, how would I possibly do that? Well, that is where you bring in the second player to the whole fold. So I brought in Marvin Jones, and he had AJ Brown sitting on his bench, injured, right? 3rd round pick. So I traded Travis Kelce and Marvin Jones for McLaurin and AJ Brown, right? And now my receiver position is starting to look good, okay? And so another reason why I was able to do this is because I had Gesicki. I was stacked at tight end, and I feel comfortable with moving forward with Gesicki and finding whatever else help that I can find from the tight end position on the waiver wire, right? And so the golden rule to making trades work is you want to always try to make both teams better, right? And I know a lot of people might think that sounds foreign or bizarre, but if you're in a legitimate league and you actually do get one over on somebody, there's a chance that the league will reject it anyway. So we're not trying to trick people too much, right? There is a couple of tricks, though, that I have up my sleeve that I like to employ. Earlier, after week 1, we saw Dalvin Cook, who was on my team, and I had also DJ Moore, right? And so I looked at DJ Moore's astrology, and I didn't like his astrology, and also I've never really thought Teddy Bridgewater is going to light it up, right? He's never been that type of quarterback to me, and I could be proven wrong. I haven't seen a whole lot on him, to be honest, but just my general feel is that he's not going to light it up, and he doesn't have a good astrological chemistry. So, of course, he's getting a ton of usage, and so, of course, he's still a decent player, and he was picked in the 3rd round. So I wanted to move DJ Moore and Dalvin Cook, and when I moved Dalvin Cook, I realized Dalvin Cook has terrible weeks 14, 15, and 16, right? That's something we want to consider. When we're doing a trade, check ahead, right? We're trying to win the league. We need to win in the playoffs, right? And so Dalvin Cook had such a bad week 14, 15, and 16 that I thought I'm willing to take a little bit of loss with Kenyon Drake, and I'm willing to trade DJ Moore, and I actually got Michael Thomas, right, And so we'll see how that goes, if that'll come back to bite me. And so they say that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, if you will. So I've had to play a little bit limped at wide receiver last week, and could have cost me that game. But so that is the few tricks that I have up my sleeve. Buy Terry McLaurin if you can. Sell Dalvin Cook if you can. And as far as trying to determine what players you have going on, this guy who asked me this question, he wants to know about the trade. For example, let's take your Zach Ertz for Hayden Hurst. The question comes, did he ask you for that trade? Because if he's asking you for a straight up trade, the chances is he values Zach Ertz more. And so you want to bring in two players of pretty even level, but one that you value more on the other side of the equation, right? And so those are the few things to keep in mind. This is the best time of year to get the trades done, right? The values are really kind of up in the air. People are overreacting, and that's another thing. Try to trade with the teams that are really bad, right? They want to make a move, right? They're getting desperate, and there's a lot of players who just haven't had a chance to come out. It's not that their teams are bad, it's that it's, just a couple of weeks, and so we haven't really seen them come out yet. So those are just a couple little tips I have for making a trade. If your team is 0-2, like this other guy was saying, yeah, man, keep clawing, keep grinding. We're not going to always make the best decisions. It's just football is up and down and going all over the place. And so even if your team is 0-2, just keep grinding. I'm already ahead in my league in transactions, right? And I'm always the highest player in my league in transactions. And I make a lot of wrong moves, but the majority of the moves that I make are better for the team. You're not making moves just to make moves, but you are constantly upgrading every position that you can. And trading is a great way to get those subtle upgrades. And so best way to do that is to trade 2 to 3 guys at a time. Be brave. Find those little subtle edges. When you have a position stacked, find another team that has a different position of your need that's stacked, right? I was stacked at tight end. This other guy was stacked at wide receiver. And so when I was able to get Terry McLaurin and AJ Brown for Travis Kelce and Marvin Jones, it made sense for both teams. And so those are just my thoughts on the trading. If I have more, I'll think of it. I've just been trying to riff on this. There's a lot of little articulate things that we can get into. We can talk about being consistent in the offering of the trades, right? Because we can't expect our opponents to actually know that they're stacked at wide receiver, right? So when you offer him the first trade and he rejects, doesn't mean give up, right? You're just introducing him to the ideas that in the realization that his team is stacked in that way. And so when you go to offer that second trade, he's more aware, oh yeah, I do. I've got 6 great wide receivers. Of course I can give up these 2 wide receivers for a Travis Kelce. Yeah, absolutely. And so then the trades happen. Okay, so hope this helps, guys. All the best in your games tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cheers.